All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon rental teams. So, if for whatever reason you don't know what Pokemon rental teams are, they are teams you can use in online Pokemon battles in Sword and Shield. You just go to rental teams. You go to, well, first you gotta communicate. Communicating with the internet. Then you could go to manage teams you're renting. I actually have some open spots right here, so you just go here, you input a code. So like those codes that teams have, the code over here at the bottom, like those are like the types of codes like you input, and then boom, you got a rental team. Now, why are we talking about rental teams? They've been out for like a long time, right? And I just kind of wanted to talk about it. One, because I haven't been doing Pokemon battle videos for a while. I talked about it in my last Tearless Tuesday video with Pokemon starters, but I haven't been enjoying playing as much Pokemon, mostly because I haven't been able to stream the battles as much. Like, I would love to, like, you know, try out rental teams and just stream. I enjoy making, like, the YouTube video as well, but it hasn't been as fun, and I don't want to force it, but I still want to make YouTube videos, just talking about random game stuff, and I still want to make stuff like talking about Pokemon. So, I just wanted to talk about rental teams. Also, if you would like to like share your own rental team, you just got to go to manage teams to share, you know, get an open spot, and then boom, you could share something here. I don't have a complete set right now just because I like took the items or took a Pokemon away. But yeah, you would just like have your Pokemon set in a team, and then you could just click it, and then boom, you got a rental team you could share. You can share up to 5, I believe. So you have 5 for your account to share, and then you could rent up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So like sometimes you'll have to like, you know, let go of a team if you would like to get another if you run out of space. But the reason I want to talk about rental teams is because this is actually a series where I've been more willing to use rental teams. I've only used these 2 and one other one that I didn't really like. The reason I'm like talking about it is because, or I mean, the reason I'm using rental teams more this season is because it's one restricted like Pokemon format, so sometimes I just don't have all the restricted mons, or I don't have them already, so I just feel like it's kind of easier to just like try out a rental team. You know, like if I don't have a Kyogre or my Zacian. I actually don't have my Zacian, even though I have Pokemon Sword. My friend has it, and I just never got it back, so yeah, I don't have a Zacian. But, you know, there was a time where I would never want to make a rental team. Like, I would just never want to use a rental team. I think it's more fun to use your own team. Personally, I still think it's more fun to use your own team. But I wasn't the best Pokemon team builder before, right? Like, I wouldn't use all the meta mons. I would just use, like, some of my favorites. I would make a team. And, you know, I would just try my best there. And I do okay, but there was one time where I was kind of, like, struggling for a bit in Series 6. So I decided to try out some rental teams. I tried out this like Porygon Z team, and Porygon Z went brrr. But I realized that a lot of people have way better teams than me. Not just like their meta picks. Like, I was able to like understand why people were able to have like or do better than my teams. Why certain teams were popular. Because at first I was just like, oh, you're just using Metamons. Like, I could use Metamons. But, like, no, they do a really good job, like, team building, having good synergy, having good EVs on their Mons. And, you know, starting to use rental teams helped me understand how to get better at Pokemon. Because I really do feel like sometimes when you're struggling, just try out using someone else's team or, like, using some of their Mons. And then you can understand, like, why their Mons are doing so well. Now, that doesn't work for everything. Like not every rental team is just like an automatic, wow, you'll do well now, right? You could still like not play as well using a good rental team. For example, I don't have it here, but Wolfie had a Jolteon team in Series 6, and Jolteon's one of my favorite mons. But I actually did not like using that rental team. Like, I thought Jolteon was cool, but I didn't like his team. So the thing is with rental teams, there's a lot of different types of play styles. There's also a lot of different types of mons. So sometimes using like certain rental teams, you kind of have to like understand what you like and what you don't like. So for example, one team I really like, and this was in Series 6, was Sejun Park's Gus team using Driftblim. But I realized what I really like about this team is he has the Water Fire Grass Core of Urshifu, Decidueye, and Arcanine. And I really enjoyed it. Like this is one of my favorite teams. This is like, of all the time I've played competitive Pokemon, this is one of my favorite teams. You have this synergy of Weakness Policy Driftblim. You have Raichu synergy, right? Lightning Rod, so you can't use electric attacks against the Driftblim. You could use Brutal Swing as Raichu to activate the Weakness Policy on Driftblim. It will also get a lot faster because of Unburden. You lose the item, you become faster, you become stronger. When you use Ghost-type moves like Max Phantasm, that lowers the defense of other Mons on the opponent's like side, right? So when you lower their defense, it makes other Pokemon like your Urshifu, Arcanine, Decidueye stronger because those are physical attackers on this team. So it's synergy, things like that. Like I just like really like this team. I like having a Water, Fire, Grass core. He actually has 2 Grass type Pokemon here. So sometimes when you try out rental teams, you kind of start to understand like what playstyle do you like more. Do you like being hyper offensive? Do you like being defensive? Do you want like stall? Do you like the Mons they're using? You know, and then like the cool thing about rental teams is you could find out the stats, you could find out the moves, and then you could change stuff yourself. Like maybe you could build the team yourself, but you'd like to like change up like some move sets because maybe you don't like everything that the creator of that team did. For example, this Kyogre team. This Kyogre team is really nice for having electric type moves. So like Thunder Punch on Metagross, Thunder on Kyogre. So you could like set up Electric Train. Very strong for your Regieleki. But something with this team personally is I would like to have Kyogre to have like Ice Beam, or Metagross just has the Ice Punch. I don't really know if I want like that much electric type attacks. So like there are some things that like I'd want to change. I do see like how good it is on this team, but personally for me, like there are some things I would like to change. Like maybe I do want an Ice Punch on Metagross, or maybe I don't want the Garchomp. I actually do like the Garchomp here though, but maybe I don't want the Garchomp. Things like that. So like there's always things you could like change in the rental team, but I really do think it's like important to use rental teams. If you're like ever struggling, like you don't have to use rental teams, but they could always like give you like, I don't know, like an idea, or like it could reveal something to you, like helps you understand the team. I also think if there's like a certain popular rental team that gives your own team struggles, it's always good to like try out that rental team. For example, if you like struggled against Wolfie's Colossal team in Series 7, right? I would say try out using the team, because then maybe you'll understand like the things it's weak to. This team I really like right now. This is probably like the team I would use if I was to make a Pokemon battle video. I saw it on Twitter. The guy won a tournament with this team. So very strong. It's a Zacian Lapras team, Lapdog. It has a nice Assault Vest Thunderous, if you're scared of Intimidates against your Zacian, you have a Defiant user. I really like the Thunderous on this team. Amoonguss is here, Umbreon is here, but using this team, I did really well, but I didn't like win everything. And I started to understand like there's a lot of things that could easily beat up Zacian. Like for example, like Regieleki, like it doesn't have like a super effective move on Zacian, but I realized that it still does a pretty decent amount of damage to Zacian, or it could, depending on like its set and stuff. But it made me realize like, like Zacian ain't like Zacian isn't like completely busted or anything, right? So like Lapras is also cool, but there's also a lot of Rillabooms out there as well. But then at least Lapras has like Ice type moves for sure against like those grass types. But most of the time I wouldn't be running the Lapras against a Rillaboom, by the way. I'd probably just switch. But yeah, like, this is a team I like, and, you know, I don't really use, like, all these Pokemons. I think the only one I've really used before was Amoonguss and a bit of Landorus. I've actually used an Umbreon before in Series 6, but... So I guess I have used, like, half, but... You know, like, you're able to learn more using rental teams. Like, as much as I like using my own teams, it's also, like, smart to use, like, rental teams as well. Where is the... Oh my gosh, I didn't make... That's right, I didn't make a... I didn't share my Dialga team, because I thought I could still, like, find ways to improve it. Whoops. Here's some of the other teams you've seen before. But... Yeah, like, something I do like about... Let me see if I can find my Dialga team. Something I do... Oh, here it is. Something I do like about my team building now is I really have noticed I've gotten a lot better, and you know, a big reason is I'm using like a Metamons. Like, you know, I have Incineroar, Rillaboom. I'm not using the Spectre here, by the way. I was supposed to use Clefairy. I guess I just ended up putting the Spectre here. But both of these mons have Focus Sash. But like a big thing was like, what was I trying to say? This is also another unedited video. We're just kind of like chatting. By the way, I do these types of videos mostly because like it kind of like puts me back as if I was streaming again. I kind of like the idea, but then again, like for YouTube, maybe more things should be edited. But there are certain things like this where I kind of just feel like, you know, it's a video where we're just like chatting. Like I said, if I was streaming more, like I would just like take the clip then edit. Then I would be editing for sure, but it'd be like that. Oh, that's what I was saying. So I've noticed I've gotten a lot better at team building, because when I did team building before and then I would try out a rental team, I would realize that, man, this rental team is so much better, like so much better. But when I use a rental team now for a Series 8, I've realized that those rental teams aren't really like that much better than my team. Don't get me wrong, they're still good and probably like do a better job. Or for like some top players, like they'll probably like say those rental teams could be better than mine. But I've noticed like I have built a lot smarter with my rental teams. Like this team right here, right? Just let's just say this is Clefairy. This team was doing a really nice job against Zacians, with the Burning Jealousy and Incineroar, having Dialga with Max Quake, and surviving like fighting type moves from Zacian. So, like, I put more thought into team building. So I really think it's nice to like use rental teams to kind of just like show yourself a bit of like how is your team doing compared to like a very popular rental team. I don't think this team is better than that Zacian team I'm using though. That team's really good. But that's just like something to keep in mind. Like it's kind of just nice because I've like noticed the difference. Like before, like if you're really bad at team building, I feel like it's way more obvious when a rental team is better than yours. But like using like my own teams now, like I could see the strengths it has. It has weaknesses still. Like this team was like still super weak to Max Quakes because there were a lot of special attackers, and then Max Quake hurts Dialga and Incineroar. But yeah, like I've kind of just noticed like, hey, you're doing a lot better. So I just wanted to say like, I think rental teams are very important to try out. You don't have to use them, but they could like help you learn a lot, whether it be about your own team building, whether it be to give you ideas for your own team building, or whether it be like maybe you just don't like team building and you just want to use rental teams, and it helps you understand other mons more. Like I said, I feel like using these teams, I started to understand big weaknesses. For example, the Kyogre team, I realized how big Wide Guard is against this team. Because I can't use Electro Web against Wide Guards. I can't use most of Kyogre's moves when not in Dynamax against Wide Guard. I can't use Earthquake against Wide Guard. can't use Rock Slide against Wide Guard, so Wide Guard is like a way more popular thing. So Mian Xiao is like a bit more seen from like the matches I played. I don't know if it's like that popular, but you know, for me going against Kyogre teams, I just had Rillaboom on my Dialga team. I would just be like, I got Rillaboom and that's it. But like boom, like Wide Guard could be like a bigger thing. I've noticed like when I build teams, I usually focus more on like types, like having Water, Fire, Grass, or Fairy Dragon, Steel. I think that's a more of a bigger thing in single battles, in like Smogon and stuff. But I still like having cores in VGC. Those are still important. Like Water, Fire, Grass is really important still. Like look at this Gus team, right? But you know, like you don't need it. You don't need it. There's no Water, Fire, Grass on this team. You have like one Grass. You have like 3 Pokemon weak to Ice. Yeah, like it doesn't have those cores, but it's a good team, you know. Sometimes maybe certain mons are just better. But I still like to focus on types when I build teams just to make sure I have resistances and I could still like have a lot of coverage. But it kind of just like helps me realize like I don't always have to build like that. So I hope like the point of this video is just like rental teams could help you out if you're having like struggles with Pokemon team building and stuff. And I kind of just want to like kind of go on a little rant about rental teams and stuff, because personally like I still don't really use them as much, but you can learn a lot from it, and I think it's a very helpful tip in getting better at competitive Pokemon. But yeah, that's pretty much the main thing I wanted to talk about. Hopefully rental teams can help you learn more about which Pokemon you like, which playstyles you like, or just help you learn more about Pokemon you struggle against. And that's the video. Thank you for watching.